Okay, so I think that this is most of the ALU, of the addition subtraction part of the ALU done. So where were we? So this is a carry input, which needs to be an able, yeah. Wait, let me just quickly grab the table again of all the different ALU instructions we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh yeah, but that's going to be 16 inside the actual ALU itself. So, what I think the plan was with set ALU mode is that I have a 4-bit register that kind of keeps track of what mode the ALU is in. Now to look at this and realizing that I have to actually add a register to this, I think it might be easier to do this in a different way, namely that we have a kind of a selector circuit. How were they built again? And let's check if this works. So you can turn one thing on. If you trigger something else, all the other gates turn off. Would you look at that? This is exactly what we want. Ew, it's going to be tall. Yuck. The register module is also a monstrosity. So now shall we keep the buttons here? No, we don't need to. Actually, now I'm thinking of like 3 or even 4 reasons why we should keep the buttons there. I've already removed them. No going back. So there's going to be an OR gate. Essentially what we're going to be doing is if it's an AND, then we just enable the output. It's an AND on the carry instruction. So we also need to take the carry input into account then. Then we're going to take the AND gate. And we are going to be enabling the carry input. So perhaps I should even have a AND gate for the carry in, then an AND gate for the trigger, or the OR gate for the trigger of that. That color maybe? Nope. This one? Yeah, that one. So this goes into there, that goes into the carry, and then this one here does not go to the carry. Instead, it goes to here. It's not compression, it is indeed just one blue blob. I just kind of know where everything is. So that's the second thing, is the carry add. Then I also have this subtract carry, which is going to be needing to enabling the output just like the normal subtract. The thing about subtract is that they also turn on the subtraction mode. Oh, what a beautiful mess have we made. We make half-broken car in heavy accident coding stream. What? What does it even mean? Cubic, explain. Half-broken car in heavy accident is a language? What? What nerd makes a programming language and calls it half-broken car in heavy accident? What? Why? Why? No. No. I'm not gonna. I'm not going to. That's I'm not going to get any closer to that. We're just gonna continue with our own mess. So as you can see, I think this is like. Okay, so next up in the stuff, we have so add, subtract. We all did that. Next we have shift left, shift right. So we're just going to be making the shifting module. Or actually, really, I think there's going to be. You see, we also have a few things for and or XOR, NAND, NOR, NEXOR, checksum, and carry. I think these are all going to be in kind of the logical operation module of the ALU module. So this is a module in a module. Just to make wiring up not necessarily easier, but just less of a pain. So we have the inputs and the outputs of the logic module. And of course we're going to be specifying the bits. This is the output with the least significant bit, and the input with the least significant bit. Then we have the shift to the left, essentially multiplying. We shift to the left, so that's to that direction. So really we don't need that. Then we have a enable thingy. Just gonna place down a few of these so I don't have to rotate my gates around all the time. Oh, that was not... That was inefficient. And now let's connect all of these. Only have to make 7 connections, so now of the few times I'll need to make 7 instead of 8 or 4 or 16. And actually I just realized that we can make this like way more compact if we combine the shift left carry on normal shift left operations in these gates by just saying that this enable thing, which by the way is going to be an OR gate as well, I think. Actually no, it doesn't have to be. If you enable the top one, it will both enable all the things for the normal shift left, and it will also enable this so that the carry input gets sent to the correct bit. So that you can make a long continuous shift left. And now let's do the same thing for shift right. This is a mess. Or at least it looks like a mess, but when you know what patterns to look for, it's more beautiful. Oh, and perspective also doesn't help. Okay, next. That's shift left, shift right. If and, or, XOR, NAND, NOR, NEXOR. So I think that like on the top we'll have the gates that actually do the computation. Yeah, shit, the logic module needs 2 inputs. Not just 1. Crap, I have to... Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna finish off these connections and then I'm gonna use the grouping tool again. I have to use the grouping tool, oh no. Because I need to kind of... I need to make space for the... I want the second input to be in between here or under here without, you know, going below the rest of the gates. I have to open up the blueprint editor. Fine, fine. Save as unnamed. Okay. Yes, I know it's outdated. This time you don't get that NOR from internet security pop-up. Save override. So, okay, so the thing is, so I've now made a blueprint that has like stuff floating in midair. Yeah, and Scrap Mechanic says, yeah, that's floating in midair. Oh, it doesn't disconnect. Did it? Yeah, no, it didn't disconnect. Good, good, good. So if I now place this here. And now. Yo, we did it! Woohoo! Yay! So this here's the second input, so I'm just gonna give it the appropriate colors. Next. So this is going to be the module where we check if we kind of AND the 2 inputs together. On how I'm going to be doing the inverted versions, because we have AND OR, XOR, NAND, NOR, and not XOR. Right. So the idea was that we have these XOR gates. That we turn these OR gates into XOR gates. And if you like, they'll still operate as OR gates, as in as long as you only give them one input that's turned on at the same time. Which will happen within this module because it only gets one enabled output at the same time. But what we can do now is that we can put like another enable thingy here, or perhaps like for consistency's sake over here, so that we can, the idea is that we then have an OR gate over here that would kind of give a second input to all the XOR gates to make sure that they invert. Because that's the nice thing about XOR gates, is that they're also toggleable NOR gates. Let me show you what I mean. So now it's not inverting and it sends the input straight through. But if you turn on the inversion mode, it'll invert it. And that's essentially what we are doing in the logic module here. So if we do the normal AND, it'll just give these outputs to the XOR gates. The XOR gates only have 1 or 0 inputs turned on, so they'll just output what they got in. But if we use this one here and also, you know, put it to the OR gate that gives a second input to this entire row of XOR gates, then it'll just turn on the inversion mode of all these XOR gates. And then we get the inverted output. So that's one neat little trick that's going to be in this computer. So that was the on the NAND instructions done. Let's now do the OR and NOR. Now the OR module is done. Oh my god, it looks like a mess. Actually, maybe I should test this first before I, get all the gates in the middle of a big logic blob. Did I make a wrong connection? Oh no. You know what's the worst thing? Thinking that you made a wrong connection and not knowing which one it is. So let's begin by doing a shift to the left. So if we... What? What even happened here? Why are two gates turning on at the same time? Oh wait, I did do the output enable for the OR module. That explains a lot. That scared me a bit. Okay, try number 2. So these here don't do anything. That's the B input. The A input should be shifted to the left by 1. Under this. So there's no way to turn on the first one, and if it goes all the way out on the wrong side, it'll just do the carry out. Good. So where were we? So we tested all the shifting operations. Now let's test the AND. So only if it's ANDing. That's alright. Good. Then if we invert it. Yeah, okay, so that's going to be good. Next OR. Yep. I'm just checking if every connection that needs to be there is there. Okay, so that's the OR working. And then it can also be inverted. Good. Let's now do XOR. You've all seen this before. Yeah, I mean, that's like maybe an advantage of doing this on live stream, is that if I do something wrong, one of you is going to spot it. So let's now test the XOR module. So if we do the normal XOR, I just want to see if every input is connected properly. Good. And the inversion works properly. Nice to see. Almost there. Actually, now we only have the easy ones left. So these are some of the odd ones out, kind of. The checksum and checksum carry things. And this is just for making it easy to make a checksum of an entire byte. So XOR all the individual bits of the first input together and put the output in carry. And the idea is that you could also use it for a random number generator and get a random number, check the checksum of that random number, and take the carry out of that and put it into jump if carry instruction. And then we also have checksum carry, so extra other bits of A together plus the previous carry. And actually, these last two are just going to be individual gates. Because you only need one gate to XOR all the 8 bits together. So this is going to be the enables. XOR, XOR. And they're going to be outputting to the carry output, which is the upper one. The input is going to be the entirety of the A input, which is the lower one. Yeah, and the lower one is the first input. Actually, we could just... Yeah, okay. I'll explain that later. I'm gonna do a little trick. 8. And then we need to also XOR the carry input. And instead of then getting all these 8 inputs back in, I can just take the XOR of that. Yeah, I can do that. Just not through the enable, of course, but without the enable filtering it. That's nice. So that's the entirety of the logic part of the ALU module finished. So let's just turn on the normal XOR mode, checksum mode. So every time you change anything, any bit in here, if you change it, the checksum will change as well. And now it doesn't care about the carry. And if you go into the separate mode that has the carry enabled, it now also cares about carry. So if you change anything in the A input or the carry, the output changes. Amazing! We just built the entirety of the logic module. So if you implement this into the ALU, the entirety of the ALU is done. Actually, this is going to be too... Uh-oh. I have this saved, so I'm just gonna rip it out to make some more space for all the crap we have on the side of the logic module. Oh, there it is. What? Yeah, sure, I'm Hulk now. So we don't need that. We don't need that. Actually, that was the carry output. This is the carry input. I think being lazy is part of the job description of a programmer, because programmers always, the job of a programmer is to find a way to have the computer do the work for you. What's again? Select or 16-bit. Okay, so oh crap! I have to rewire all of that. Then normal carry. Checksum, there's a normal checksum and checksum with carry input. Oh wow, I am very happy with this. So we just have to actually hook up the inputs and outputs. So the A is at the bottom again. So it was at the top there, not at the bottom. Okay, let's now test it. What? The first button is not connected in the blueprint. No, it's connected somewhere else now. Where is it? There, okay. Yeah, thank God, it has such a vibrant color. So let's check if we can add stuff together properly. Yeah, okay, seems right. Yeah, okay, I do think everything is working then. Then let's find a nice place for this. Probably somewhere next to the register module. But I do want to have some space to like walk in between. Maybe over here? No, I don't like that. I think like this, but like one block further to the back. So I think it's gonna make the computer a bit bigger. Do you think this is a nice location? Like right here to place the ALU module? Is it a good location? Come on, there's 6 people watching. At least one of you can give an opinion. Okay, fine, I'll put it here. Okay, next we have to connect the A and B registers to the inputs of this. And the output of that we'll have to make an enable signal for that to have to go back to the bus. So I think we've connected up most of the ALU module, except for that we also have to make a output disable thingy. So let's now quickly do that. Let's just do a quick test then. So let's do 3 and 5. That is 5. Let's just add 3 to this one here. I should read that. So 5 and 3 are being added over here. Next, we have to kind of enable the add mode. Now I was writing to the bus. You actually need to disable that. So for that, I'm just going to be making a green gate. So now if you actually want to read from the ALU, you can do that. You can write that to A. And now we're adding, pretty sure we're adding, what is in B again? We're adding 3 all the time to this. So every time I do the add instruction, we're writing to 3. We can do maths now. That's how far we are.